That's a real tight shot. Actually, it's the other way.
You gotta.
What? Hola. That's my hand. Hola.
Folks don't know how I act when they get on camera.
Just don't know how to be. Hello. I think I'll turn the light out behind me. It's too bright.
It's in your face.
In your face.
I just put hashtag after church.
Say hi to Chris.
Hashtag in your
What's up,
face.
Chris?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
God, yeah, Kiara.
Hola.
Everybody's here. We here.
I forgot to give Mother's Day shout out to my name.
Don't forget.
Oh,
I'm gonna write it down for you.
cue me in. Start off the show.
Somebody just joined. What's that? Somebody online. I see the hearts. What's up, y'all? Let's see we at WXSL.
5, 4.
What's up, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? It is the After Church Show with Greg and friends. Welcome to WXSL Radio. We're live in the studio today, and as always, I got my man Massey with me. What's going on, player?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today?
He too smooth. He too smooth. And Kai Nicole, what's happening? What's happening?
Good afternoon, y'all.
Yeah, I see we in a festive mood today. That's
Yes,
good.
yes.
That's good. Just top of the show, top of the hour. We just definitely want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mommies out there, all the grandmas, all the aunties, all the godmothers, all the mothers to be, all the you think you somebody's mama, everybody,
All the foster mothers,
all
too.
the foster mothers. Yes,
Dear
yes.
mama.
Dear Mama, as Tupac say, yeah. So, but Happy Mother's Day for sure. We love you guys. We appreciate you, and of course we'll be shouting out our own individuals a little bit later on. But we just wanted to start the show out by saying Happy Mother's Day to every mama out there. For those of us who are following us, you can follow us right now. We're on Facebook, After Church Show with Greg and Friends. We're on Twitter at After Church Show. Periscope, there's a live feed going on right now at After Church Show. Instagram, the After Church Show, and we will be uploading our segments onto YouTube on After Church Radio with Greg and Friends after the show concludes. We're also excited today to announce that our website is up. It's still under construction, but the website is up, so when you get a chance, just check us out, theafterchurchshow.com. You'll see these three wonderful faces on there, and a little note from us letting you know that we're still under construction, but the website is up. We're very excited about that, so do check us out when you get the opportunity. And as always, we love and want your feedback on how things are going. We're down here at WXSL Radio, Street Legal Radio. Oh, and lastly, I forgot, Ustream. For those of you who like Ustream,
That's right.
check us out. We're broadcasting live. You see the whole crew. Actually, we're a squad now. We changed that.
Yeah,
Squad.
That's right. It sounds a little harder.
right.
Squad. Yeah, we about that Jesus business.
That's
This-
right.
It's squad time. So anyway, we got squad goals. Is that right, Kai?
Squad goals.
Squad goals. Okay, good. I got that right. I'm learning stuff. So anyway, you know how we do it. We go right in. We dig right in. We do our thing because that is what we do. So let's start the show off. Let's talk. I'm feeling pretty jovial right now, guys. So let's go with church groupies. Let's just start this thing out. Let's start this
right
thing.
into it.
Let's just you know how it is.
Jump right into it.
You know how it is, player. So church groupies, defined as men and women who go a little bit too far to be loved, appreciated, and seen by the preacher.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
As they say in conversation circles, let's have at it. So what's up with that? What's up with church groupies? Talk to me.
I mean, the women groupies are obvious. They make themselves obvious, and I think it's highlighted more with the women. But there are some men groupies out there that will try to run the pastor or
Right.
get pastor to know their name. I
Yep.
remember me and my wife went to go see Bishop Noel Jones,
Mhm.
and as church was letting out, we were ready to go. We didn't, I saw him preach. I didn't really need to meet him or anything like that.
Right, you got the
And-
word. You
Yeah,
came,
yeah.
you got the word.
So he was going to the back, and there were men pushing past women to go line up to shake his hand.
Yeah.
I mean, we literally watched them push women out the way, and I'm like, y'all
What?
just y'all groupies? Y'all, is this man gonna do something for you right now?
Right.
Man, okay, so if they on that, if I could touch the hem of Bishop Noel Jones,
right,
that's what
right,
they was trying.
right.
I just need a little bit of oil.
Right.
Come
So
this way, Bishop Noel.
I think it's crazy.
It's
For no man
ridiculous.
should you be. I mean, it's good if you want to meet somebody.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
But to be out there and you gotta force yourself to, I gotta
Mm-hmm.
meet this person. Oh, this Bishop Noel Jones or
Right.
Bishop T.D. Jakes. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Jesus Juniors. You gotta
I'm,
look out
I'm
for
not
that.
about to go sit there and throw singles dollar ones at the pastor.
Oh,
Oh,
Careful
you
now.
don't do
Careful
that. You
now.
don't put the money down while they preaching.
No,
Careful
I'm
now.
not going.
Yeah.
I'm not going.
Careful now. You don't put the foot. You don't put the money at the foot. That's not. That's
The money in the foot.
Oh my goodness! But it's actually pretty funny. I think it was T.D. Jakes recently preached, and he was speaking against it. He was
Right.
talking about how it's a pretty much a shame. And I'm putting it in my own context, of course, but just to kind of sum up what that segment of the sermon was about, it's a shame that people only want to hear the gospel from certain preachers. It's a
Right.
shame that they only want to go if this pastor is there or this preacher is there, as if the word of God changes based upon who preaches it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's a pitiful, sad shame,
It is.
because the word is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Is that
Right.
not biblical? Did I not hit it right?
Oh, you hit it right.
That's
Okay,
right.
so if the word is the same, and if I can articulate the word, and if I can give you what the word says, why does it matter who's standing up front? Pretty sad.
Yeah, and I think that certain people really believe that.
Yeah.
They believe that if it's coming just from pastor,
Yeah.
that's all that matters.
Like it's
These
gold.
people that when the pastor get a prophet to come in and you looking like, all right, God, give me a word. God could have already given you a word.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Just
But
because
you had to hear it at
Right.
that in particular conference.
right.
that
Just
it-
because
so-
Prophet Johnson coming in town don't mean that.
You know
that-
Prophet Johnson?
no,
I'm
I don't.
playing.
It could be
Prophet
Prophet
Johnson be
out
outside the studio when we leave. So the Lord told me to tell
Tell
you
you.
that I'm about to get you.
there. But the groupies, y'all got to stop that. They
Yeah.
are men and women, and what happens is you
They
put them
not
on a
celebrities.
pedestal. As
That's
far as
right.
the men are concerned,
Yes,
now the women,
yes.
I mean, that's just hoeing in the church. That's
Hey, man.
basically what it is.
Hey,
Speak
brother,
on it.
Speak on
That's
it.
hoeing in the church.
I'm about to take my hat off and
trying
pass
to-
it around. 'Cause He called it what it is.
You trying
Stop
to be a thought for
hoeing
the pastor?
in the
and
church.
that's
Did you say
Thought.
thought for the pastor?
Yeah, or deacon. You know how they can't get to the pastor, so they'll get to the
Yeah.
deacon that count the money. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Thought in the ministry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we shouldn't
so-
have a thought ministry. That we got to speak against that.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
That's
But
totally wrong.
you know what though, and it's kind of sad. And when you really think about it, it's based upon an actual need, and this speaks to how the enemy kind of twists things, and he abuses something and turns it into a negative. Because a lot of times, when these people idolize this person or they're into an in particular pastor or preacher too much, it's because they're missing something in their life, and the thing that they're missing is God, because they're trying to replace it with man. You know what I mean? So if that mindset is there, that I've got to have somebody, I've got to have a person in place, kind of makes me think about in the Bible where the children of Israel, they wanted a physical king, and then King Saul was actually put in place because they needed to have somebody, and they weren't just satisfied with God. That's a big message right there if people are listening. But there's no man that could ever fill the void that exists other than God. Only
about
God
it.
can fill it. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And that's where you get these thoughts and groupies from. But we thought it was kind of funny that it's the dudes that's
Yeah.
actually the ones that's
Taking
like,
over.
you know, taking over with this whole thing.
Oh yeah, and they out there. If you watch them,
Yeah.
go to a church where a bit like Bishop Walter Thomas Church. When he bring all the big pastors in, if you ever go,
Yeah.
you'll see them. They like wolves over.
Lining up.
They will line up. And I don't know. I don't understand what the big deal is.
Hey.
I don't even want to stay. I mean, most of the time I'll speak to who I got to speak to and communicate, but
Sure,
I don't need
sure.
to go see them.
Yeah.
Like half of the time they're gonna forget your name anyway. They're gonna shake your
Right.
hand, get on their plane, their $30 million
Remember me,
jet, and
Pastor? Yeah,
I met you
you,
in 2002 over at that church that we had went to. Remember me?
You
Sure,
had on
brother.
that red robe. I remember that red
Had on
robe.
that lavender suit like my man from the B section.
right. But see, that
Jerry
goes
Curl.
back to your point of
Yeah,
people thinking that only certain people can pray for them.
Mm-hmm.
sure.
I don't need Bishop T.D. Jakes to pray for me. I have friends, I have family, I have my wife.
Yeah.
I don't need.
And don't forget that you can pray for yourself,
Exactly.
right?
You can.
Do we not have access to God?
We
That's
did.
right.
Jesus died, the veil was torn. Let me get theological for a second.
Go ahead.
But Jesus died, the veil was torn so that we can have full access.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't need to go sit in no closet and, you know, confess my sins, no
Right.
knock at my, you know, other denominations.
Right.
I ain't got to tell no dude or no woman, you know, confess my sins before man. I don't have to.
And I
We
don't
got
gotta
our
go.
main line. That's that main
Yeah,
line.
yeah,
Right,
that's
that's
the
the
main
main line,
line.
right?
We got our
Tell
own
me
line.
Jesus on the main line.
Tell them what you want.
Exactly.
We don't need to go say 6 Hail Marys. You know what I'm saying? And,
Sure.
and it's not knocking it, but at the same time, you know, again, we got to cut this groupie stuff out of
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
These men can't. I want everybody that's listening. These men can't do anything different for you
Yeah.
than your regular
They
pastor.
still
That's right.
human.
They still human.
Still flesh.
Still human, still flesh, and it's just a doggone shame, man. It's a doggone shame. So what else we got going on? I think that it was something that's happening in the news that I actually wanted to talk about, and I'm just going to throw it out there a little bit. But we didn't talk. We missed the opportunity to talk about House Bill number 2, aka the bathroom bill, and
Right.
I just think it's completely hilarious that the bill is named number 2, House Bill number 2.
I was trying not to laugh.
The bathroom bill is House Bill number 2. That's
Yeah.
like so appropriate, right?
Right.
But you know, it raises a very big point. And right now in the news, you know, in the media, there's a lot going on about the LGBT community, you know, transgenderism, etc.
Right.
And it speaks to laws that are being put in place. Now, a lot of people are talking about the discriminatory aspects of this, and they're talking about the fact that, you know, civil rights are being impacted and things of that nature. But just from a strictly Christian perspective, I wanted to kind of talk about and talk through how we feel about the fact that there's potential for laws to be put in place where someone of the opposite sex could actually go to the restroom or locker room that they
Exactly.
identify with. Now we're not here to, you know, we're not going to sit in judgment of anybody or anything like that, you know, lifestyle choices, etc., because all that's going to be, you know, between our Lord and Savior and that individual. But from a very serious perspective, if this thing goes into play, and if a man who identifies with the female gender wants to go into a female restroom, how does that play out? You know, how is that going to impact society, and how do we feel about that as Christians?
As far as a Christian standpoint, I mean, you could kind of put that over. You can kind of put that under, you know, if you believe in, you know, if you support
Sure.
gay marriage or anything like that. But with this bill, pretty much I believe that, you know, we're opening the door for something.
For something else.
Definitely.
We're opening
Something
the
bigger.
door for something bigger, because you know, with the House Bill 2, this is specifically in North Carolina, but Target also just passed where, you know, like you said, if you identify yourself with a
Sure.
gender, you can. That's the bathroom. But what's to stop these perverts, these
Exactly.
crazy individuals?
Right.
Because if that's the case, any man can put on a wig and say, "I identify myself as a woman,"
Right.
and then
Right.
just go in the bathroom. And we're not saying,
Exactly.
because I've seen several posts. people that are that are against it to say, "Oh, y'all keep thinking transgender people out here are molesting these children."
No, it's not even them that I'm worried about. Right. It's not that, because I honestly feel, it's the pervs. It's the ones that's going to take advantage of the existence of this bill. Because, like I said, you know, we're not condemning or judging anybody. That's the word. We know what the word says. We believe what the word says, and the word will always be true. But I'm talking about, like you just suggested, what about the pervert or the person who wants to take advantage of that, and then we find this person in a locker room or in a bathroom, you know, and this law is, quote unquote, giving them permission to do so.
Exactly.
And that's the scary part, because I mean, honestly and truly, you know, and I'll be very flat right now. If a woman identifies as being a man and she wants to come in the bathroom where I'm at, you know, that's not going to impact me any.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
We got stalls in there. Close the door.
Right.
You want to try it standing up? Try it standing up. I don't care. That's between you and the stall.
Right.
But what I am worried about is if I've got daughters. You know, you have females in your family. You have females in your family. We got these little kids. We got these younger people in there, and you got this person who is, by category, a pedophile, taking advantage of this rule and this law. That's a very scary thing to me.
Definitely.
Very scary.
Because you have a lot of parents that don't supervise their kids for whatever reasons in the bathrooms.
Why should you?
Yeah, and they just send them in there.
I mean,
why should you have to worry about that? You know, I mean, I know that you do to a degree.
Right.
It's like permission slips. Say, go ahead in there, run in there. You know, that's the scary part. So just, I mean, as a Christian, I look at it as a Christian. I look at it as a man. I look at it as a father. I look at it in multiple different ways, and everything about me says, nah, don't make it a law. Because my thing is this: I bet you and guarantee you that whoever's transgender and whoever identifies with the other sex, they've already been going to the bathroom.
I was about to
and
say,
we probably don't even realize.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure that they've already done it, and it's no big deal. Why make a big deal out of it?
Right. And then my issue is the people that are against it, for women that don't support it. But then you judge them. You don't want to be judged. That's why you go in the bathroom. But you judge them because they have a problem with it. No, that's their right to have a problem with it.
Sure.
They don't. If they, and I understand you identify yourself with whatever you do, but you can't get mad at somebody else because they don't agree with it and they don't feel comfortable. That's an uncomfortable thing for a woman, that when a man comes in, a big burly man, just because he identifies himself with a woman, if he, 6 foot tall, she may be afraid.
Right.
Sure.
I wouldn't even be able to go at that point.
So it's
I'd be a little nervous.
Right. So it's like, if you're going to support it, but I just think that some of these laws that they're changing and trying to support, I think they're doing a little too much. I think they're trying to force laws on situations. It's like, no, we got to, the governor that actually passed the bill, he said this is common sense. A man should go. He was born a man. He should go in the man's bathroom, and a woman in a woman. They feel like well, I don't feel comfortable because the women are going to look at me funny. Yeah, the men are going to look at you funny.
Exactly.
Most of the times men can tell, like, oh yeah, that's a girl. But I just think it's all crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's something to think about.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that this path is going to be a long one. And it's going to be one that we're going to have to walk out slowly and eventually get to the end of. But it was just something that I definitely wanted to throw on the table. So we're about to take a break. But when we come back, very excited today. We have a special guest with us, as you saw. If you follow us on our Facebook page or any of the other social media outlets that we have, we're very excited today and pleased to have Sister Pam Curtis Massey in the building with us today.
Let me brag
for those who haven't put the connection together. Yes, that is Mrs. Massey. But she's here today, and she's going to be talking to us about pushing the vision and all that entails. So we're very excited to have her. We'll be back with her after the break concludes, and we just hope that you stay tuned and stick with us. We're on WXSL Radio, www.streetlegalradio.com. After church show with Greg and friends. See you in a couple minutes. Okay, with Pam Curtis Massey, founder and visionary and president, CEO, all of that of Pushing the Vision Incorporated, and we are blessed to have her with us today.
Thank you.
So
Thank y'all.
thank you for stopping by. Thank you for being in the studio with us. We certainly appreciate your presence and the blessing that you've been to us so far. So we're going to continue on with our interview. Mr. Massey, want to
Yes.
interview your wife and give us a couple questions?
Sure. So my first question is, I only have two of them. My first question is, doing what you do, was there ever time, or are there times that you feel like giving up, or have you felt like giving up? And if so, what was it? What are the things that keep you pushing forward and moving forward to say, you know what, too much is at risk for me to give up, or too much is at risk for me to stop? And what are those elements that keeps you moving forward?
I'll be honest, I never felt like giving up. I never felt like giving up. And I thank God that is not my testimony of, I will often question, like, God, I'm weak, I'm tired, I'm dehydrated. So how did you give me such a powerful vision, and when sometimes I don't even have enough energy to go out to the schools, but I never want to give up. I never want to give up, and that's why it's important to be self-motivated, and determined and consistent, and to stalk your vision and to stalk your goals.
Okay, stalk your vision. I like
that. Yeah. But I just thank God that He planted in me that drive that no one else can drive for me.
That's good.
So I never feel like giving up. I've never feel like giving up. Maybe if it was not my vision.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like far as like, I'm partnered with someone asks me to join them. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I don't have a drive because that's actually your vision. You just asked me to assist you. Mm-hmm. But to me, if I won't do it, no one else will.
That's right.
And that's the way I see it.
That's good. That's good. You
so
got
you're definitely motivated. That's awesome. That's awesome.
No, I was just saying you got to be self-motivated, and you got to push yourself.
Yeah.
You got to push yourself because you're gonna get tired. These walks aren't easy. Any walks that you do that you're really passionate about, it's not going to be easy, but it's well worth the reward.
Sure.
And my second question is,
actually, before you, because the juice is gonna flow.
Oh,
but before you go into
the juice is gonna flow.
Yeah, we'll make sure the juice is flowing.
Yeah.
But can I say that on after church?
You sure
can.
Okay, good.
The juice. Yes, the juices of the Holy Spirit.
Hit the censor button.
Hit the censor button.
Sorry,
no.
I'm joking.
So just as this is the question for you, Chris, because you guys are partners in life.
Yeah.
But as her husband,
my boo.
Okay.
Lover.
All right. I'm not gonna say that. Okay. All right. Boo, lover, king. Yeah. But just as the man beside the woman.
Thank you, Chanel Barnes.
What do you find is most challenging for her, from your perspective? How do you
look at this? Yes.
Pass that hat around.
I'm listening.
Yeah.
That's good.
Honestly, I would.
Don't cause no division, but good.
I'm joking. Ain't no division. The hardest thing I would have to say is consistent support, meaning just consistent support financially, consistent support, and people actually showing up. What I've seen, she works hard, nonstop.
Yeah.
People see the post, but they don't see the hard work. They don't see her tired.
Yeah,
just tired. And event after event. She did a radio show this morning because somebody called and said, I want you to come. The commissioner of Baltimore City is calling her, the mayor's calling her, people are calling her and pulling her. So, but when she hosts events, it's good support, but consistent support of people really pouring in and not wanting. She's gotten calls and emails and texts about, let me come on the show. So then she's like, okay, well, what do you know about pushing the vision?
Oh, yeah. I don't play.
Yeah.
Do you listen? Have you ever listened?
Right. Never listened to the show, but you want to come on.
Or
Or they see her go to that next level, and now they want to support.
Oh, you know about those types.
Oh yeah,
It's always
as soon
gonna
as
be
They like coattails.
Yeah.
They grab
Yeah.
coattails.
Oh, yeah,
We
that-
had it. Oh, I'm
Exactly.
going that way too.
We family now.
Oh yeah. She
We
got
family
that. Yeah, she got
now.
that contract, and that was like, I mean, every level since. I mean, I've been here since it started, and I've seen the
Hope so.
progress, and I've seen the events. And, I mean, it's,
Where else was you?
Yeah, you said, you know.
Stop. I've been here the whole
so-
time.
yeah, but,
Yes, I have.
But I've seen it. So she did an event at Empowerment Temple. She was asked to come and be media coverage. So she did an interview with Lisa Ray, with Michelle Williams, a former member of Destiny's Child, and some other celebrities. And it was like, as soon as people saw that, it was like calls, emails. Oh my gosh, we need to connect. We need to connect. Well, you weren't there when.
Like Kim Folk.
right.
Yeah,
Where you been?
In real
Let me
life.
know.
Cousin on your other side.
Yeah. But when we
On the
were
other
at
side.
All the play cousins show up.
right.
On the other
But
side.
when we were
of the
doing the
mountain.
Christmas toy drive, same people didn't show up.
All right.
Didn't bring a toy for kids. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So,
So
it's
if you
like,
could give one, if you could say something, you know, and remember the Staff of Church Show, but if you could say something to those people, what would it be? Or if people that support your wife or inconsistent, what would that message be?
Sade. Sorry, I'm joking. I would say I really wouldn't even address them, honestly.
Okay.
I wouldn't feel the need to address them. I mean, I would feel the need to give my energy to the people that have been consistent. The people like, the people like, you know, the Ebonies,
That's
the
how you address
Jonies,
haters.
the Tavon Masons, the Barneses.
Who was that?
The Kai Nicoles.
My mama bear, Chanel Barnes.
Sitting in the studio
Her
with the
parents.
kids.
I mean, just the consistent callers of the radio show, the people that consistently share her posts. I mean, I can go on and on, but I wouldn't even address those because there's no need to. You had the opportunity, and you know we see you.
Yeah.
She sees them, and she tells me about it, and we laugh at it, but
Yeah.
it's sad at the end of the day.
But I would say if you wasn't there to make the table with me, please don't sit down with me.
Okay.
Pulling up plates.
Yeah.
Ooh, them people.
Yeah.
So
You're
don't
not eating
come
crab
over
leg.
for dinner if you ain't help cook.
Right. And it's a lot of
Green
It's
heart.
a lot of somebody is
Somebody
loving that.
lighting up.
Yeah,
That's so
yeah,
true,
yeah,
though.
yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So you had another question for?
Yeah, so my last question for my dear
as
is
he gazes into her.
oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Deep.
Y'all should see them too. They are on Periscope right now. I'm off
But
camera.
it's
so please-
24/7.
Yeah.
Y'all know this
Yes,
24/7. We
yes.
don't.
We see
Yeah,
you.
we're not doing this for
We
the
see
camera.
all.
So
This is not camera stuff.
What are your plans for the next year for pushing the vision? What things do you have?
Like that.
What things do you have
Juice
coming
alert.
up? Yeah. That you
Juice
could tell
alert.
us. Maybe give us an exclusive or something. You know, give us
Yeah.
some
Oh,
love.
okay, so I was going to say it, but I see you trying to pull it out
Oh
of me.
no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Is this an exclusive?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Hold on.
Exclusive.
It really
Ladies
is.
and gentlemen,
It really is. In real
Aaron
life.
Curtis Massey is about to drop an exclusive
In
on
real life.
WXL Radio.
Dun, dun, dun,
Thank you.
dun, dun, dun.
I just want to say God is good. God is really good. And for that, since I have been faithful over the few, in my eyes, that He have given me, He has enlarged my territory.
All right.
So, He always told me to not be motivated by money. That's why money has never impressed me. Even when we sitting with people from the White House or sitting with the mayor, the governor, I don't care who it is, what title, and people that have master's degrees, and I don't have a master's, but the people with the masters are coming to me and calling me. One thing I will say is that I do want to have an event. I'm not going to go into too many details. This is not the official exclusive, but of course I don't want anyone to take the idea.
Okay.
Because
Much
it is in
respect.
play.
Yes. Mhm.
But this is going to be dedicated to women, and not just dedicated to women for us to vent, but for us to get our house in order financially.
Okay.
And one person that I do want aside, like standing beside of me, not in behind, not in the back of the scenes, but beside me with the mayor and other successful black women is your wife.
Okay. What's going on?
Your wife.
She will be there.
Chanel Barnes and
Okay, exclusive.
exclusive.
I didn't even know that.
And-
Now I'm cheating.
And then the
Jeez,
mayor, and then she literally already have her information, her name, because what it's going to be is going to be very, very dynamic for women and us financially.
Okay.
And then she will only be the one there as what she does. She will be the only realtor there, and many were suggested to me to have 2 or 3. No, it's going to be one realtor there.
Okay.
And then
So the blessings come in.
Hey.
and then this is going to be
I don't stop
a very nice event. So that's one. 2.
Look at her back there, looking all emotional. And I am telling you.
2 is and the second one is I was called by the city. I was called by the city on last week, and they said that the deputy mayor and the mayor told me to make you our priority.
Okay.
And you want to get a building, correct? I said yes. He said, okay. They told me to clear my schedule and to see you as soon as tomorrow morning at 9:30. So then this was Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So then I went and met them on Tuesday morning. And it's crazy is because when I sat down there, I seen another address on a board in the back, and I said, hold on, I know the address because that's my mother's rec center, and she just became the director. So then I was told things off record about that rec center, and since I'm very close, when I say close friends, she's pretty much my prayer partner, the director over the whole Baltimore City Rec and Parks. And people try to get close to her, and I never kiss tail. She see my statuses, and now her eye are like this. She give me Christmas gifts,
Right.
just because gifts. And she actually brought me a sterling silver sisters bracelet that I'll post this week. But just for God to say you won't go through the same struggles that people are going through to get a building, I'll open the door, and once you get through that door, you'll have the options where to pick instead of saying, okay, well, that's for you. But on top of that, I was told the amount for one of the buildings was, I would say, under $700, and then they said that they will have it so that it's included my BG&E, my cable, my phone, and my water. So
am I hearing what I think I'm hearing?
So
here?
hold on. So so when I was given when I was given that option from the city, I then was told something off record. So the person I was told something off record about, I called that person because her and I like this, and she said, hold on, let me give you another option. Since you want to come into one of these rec centers anyway and having access for anything, and then some of your partners are now Home Depot and this and this, and how about we sit down next week with you, you and I sit down off record. I love these off records.
Yeah. off record conversation.
Yes, off record kind of God. off record type of blessing. And then she said to me, she said, how about we talk about you having your own wing, but then I also give you another option for a building that I know that we're about to give to the city, but that we can give to you because you are 501c3.
So that's
Won't
two
he do it?
things.
Yeah.
Won't he
So then
do
the
it?
third one thing, I am so excited.
I heard two things in that sentence. Okay, so building and
501c3. I am officially a 501c3.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is
All
amazing.
right. All right.
So then
That's
the
what I'm
last
talking
thing
about. Oh, there's
is,
more.
yes, it's
Yeah.
more.
Won't he do it?
Yeah,
Won't
he
he
will
do
do
it? So, I dream big, I believe big. Why not when we serve the God that we serve?
That's right.
Do not compare your situation, your job, anything to anyone else's. God will set in place someone to stand in the gap for you, even if you don't know they're standing.
That's right. That's right.
And that's why. And that's why I know that those moments when I lay there and I don't tell my husband or my sons that I'm woke, and I lay there.
Mm-hmm.
Because even then, God is saying, be still and know that I am God.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not done speaking to you. Don't open your eyes and just meditate on me.
Mm-hmm.
And even when my body aches from lupus and I don't have enough energy in my body, God will still say, you're not even doing it for you. I'm pushing you to be able to bless the ones that are around you.
Yeah,
So then that self-motivation pushes me, because I know that there are someone that need the resources that I have, because it's family members that have the same resources as me, but they don't even want to share with y'all. They don't even want to share it with the community. They self-gain. So then the last one, which I really with all of the information, but the last piece, but the last piece, the black inside. But then the last piece is this was approved. In the words of the deputy mayor. And I wish my phone didn't die, because I would show y'all.
What you got, Samsung?
And she said,
We got
and she said, that is a mighty bold vision. But since I was born on August the 4th, same day as President Barack Obama, I always say the same day as President Barack Obama, and my favorite comedian Paul Mooney, I wanted to be on this day every year. But I may do it on August the 6th. But so on this date, it was already approved, and a lot of known officials and artists will come out and participate. But God showed me when I was with my husband this week, and it got approved the same week, in confirmation through email, that Pushing a Vision outreach will have its own day, state but also nationally recognized. Pushing the Vision Day will be on August the 4th.
Awesome.
Every year, and then I made it on that day because that vision that was implanted in me, and when I was birthed, I wanted to always be on August the 4th, because for the simple fact is that on this day it is going to be recognized that this is a day for different events. Churches, schools, police department, city officials will have events for actually vision boards.
Okay.
Visions for your household, your marriage, your children, education, your community. So then this will be the day that's recognized for doing vision board. So then it's going to be Pushing the Vision Day. It's already recognized state, but now we are going to finalize this week for national recognition of that day.
We
That's
love it.
That's
Love it.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank y'all.
Awesome. So, your fam, so we're going to ask that you just stick around with us. We're going to go into a break, and then we'll wrap up. But when we come back, everybody, we'll make sure that you get the information that's needed to support Pushing the Vision. She'll have her email and all that stuff available after the break. So just stay tuned. Stay tuned to WXSL Radio, Street Legal Radio. If you're following us, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're everywhere. We're live on Periscope right now as well, and on Ustream. But just stay tuned. We're going to play a couple songs for you guys, and then we'll be back.
Go ahead, my baby.
Yeah, the hat.
I
That's
love
good
it.
stuff. That's good stuff.
Congratulations.
Thank you all.
Yes.
She couldn't wait. She was like,
Yeah.
oh,
That's
yeah.
good stuff.
No, the only
Oh,
real
thank you.
that's
Please
gonna
don't
be
have me
over there.
cry.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, we got to put some jazz on that.
Put some jazz.
Some,
Thank you, my
Wayman
Chanel,
Timbers.
my mama,
Kirk
babe.
Whalum on
Need some
that.
Wayman Timbers.
Yeah, I don't have none.
Oh, okay.
I don't have none.
Chanel, you can't hug me in the heart. I'm gonna cry. Don't do that. You can't let go. Can't let go.
When we come back, we wrapping up for sure.
Okay.
We'll just have the information ready. Oh, no problem. Hey guys,
Thank you.
on Periscope, you gonna be nosy, know what we doing. This what we do on the breaks.
Yeah, yeah.
We discuss what we gonna do in the next segment. That's what we do. Okay then, bye. Been you here so far, Pam. You know, and like I said, you know how we do. We family. So
Yes.
she's actually gonna stick around with us for the rest of the show as we go into our other topics. But I did want to take just a brief second to introduce my wife to the world. She's in the studio today, hanging out with me and the crew. Oh, I'm sorry, we're a squad now. Hanging out with me and the squad. But her name is Chanel Barnes.
Yes.
Chanel Barnes, the lovely Chanel Barnes. She's here today. She's waving on Periscope. But yeah, she's in the studio today because it's Mother's Day. So I asked her just to come hang out with us today. You know, she is definitely a beautiful, loving, caring person, but she's also a businesswoman too. So for those of you who have real estate needs, she can be reached at 410-804-6716. That is her number. She works for Keller Williams in
Yes.
Pikesville. So if you have real estate needs, if you're looking for a house, if you're trying to rent, whatever you're trying to do, she sells houses. She helps you buy a house. And she's awesome. The thing that I've seen with her when she deals with her customers is she puts the customer first, which is very, very important. And she never loses sight of who her God is, and she never loses sight of her faith. So when she works for you, she's really working for you. So that's my plug for the week. Just want to plug my wife and
Plug her.
wow, that I can't take that back, can I? But I just want to plug her business.
Hey, and y'all's married, so hey.
Yeah.
That's all right.
But I'm definitely happy to have her in the studio with us today. But Pam, just to wrap up before we go too far, I want to make sure that everybody has your information. So if they want to get in contact with you, if they want to support or sponsor, make donations towards your 501c3 Pushing the Vision Inc. Tell them how they can do that and where they can send their information to or donations.
Yes. Please, you can reach out to me, mail or donations. Please write a letter or please write your name. Some people do not want to be recognized, but as for me, it gives me peace. So, you know, I can put your name on some type of mailing address list. But please mail it to Pushing the Vision Outreach Incorporated, P.O. Box 67676, P.O. Box 67676, Baltimore, Maryland 21215. Please look me up on Twitter at Pushing T Vision, Pushing T Vision, Instagram Pushing the Vision, Facebook personal page. I can say Facebook, you know, because I'm still on scan, you know.
That's right. She will block you in Jesus' name too.
I will. I will.
Or Chris might.
Yes, he will. So please look me up at on Pam Curtis Massey. That's Pam Curtis CURTIS Massey MASSEY. Go to my like page, Pushing the Vision at yahoo.com, and I also have an outreach page as well, Pushing the Vision at yahoo.com. Yahoo.com. Pushing the Vision Outreach Incorporated, and that's on Facebook. So please look me up, donate to me. If you I need me to be a keynote speaker or come speak out to your elderly, to partner with your church or your school, please email me at pushingthevision@yahoo.com, pushingthevision@yahoo.com, or contact me direct at 410-367-3800, 410-367-3800. Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you for being in the studio with us today. And now we're going to continue on with the shenanigans like we always do. So let's go on to our next topic. So we were talking, dear, my lovely wife, feel free to jump in if you want to, and Pam, please, join us as well. But this is what we were talking about. I had an observation. I was actually picking up some food one night, and I was watching a young man interact with his girlfriend. I'm assuming his girlfriend, and they had to be maybe, late teens, early 20s, and I was really, really put off by the way that he was interacting with her, and it made me question whether or not chivalry is dead, whether or not people know how to treat ladies anymore. So we sat and we talked about it, and I wanted to bring it up here today too. But do we really prepare the males in our society today to treat females the way they should be treated? So, Kai, as a young lady in this big old world that we live in, what are your observations on that? How do you think the males are, the new millennial males are today?
The majority, horrible, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Very rude, very disrespectful. It's like you owe them something all the time. So yeah, I don't know whether they have a male mentor in their life or not, whether they have a father in their life or not, but a lot of the guys that I have dated have been extremely rude. Just rude and disrespectful. It's like, get your own stuff, do your own thing, which I will do, but don't throw it at me like that. So
right.
Yeah, I think it needs to be more men stepping up, and maybe it's because they didn't have that type of example themselves, so they really don't know how to do it. So yeah, I think kind of it's all confusing, and everybody needs to kind of come together on that.
Yeah. So I for me, it's just like a simple thing of manners. You know what I mean? I'm very old school. My wife can certainly attest to this. I get the door. If there's bags to be carried, I carry the bags. If it's raining, I'll hold the umbrella over her. It's one of those type of things. It's kind of like old school and passe in a sense, and you really don't see that anymore. I'm almost troubled by the fact that you don't see that anymore.
It's very, very rare.
Yeah, and guys get viewed as weak or something like that if they take that extra step to ensure that a woman is treated the way that she ought to be. How you feel about that, Nancy?
I feel the same way. I agree with both of you, of course, and it's just the sad part is it's not being taught anymore. So a lot of them. It is being taught, but it's not being taught in the right manner. It's being taught on the videos that they watch and the music that they hear, because the father's not in the home,
right?
And they don't have a male figure to really show them how to treat a woman, how to respect a woman. I teach my sons. I tell them, open it. I really don't have to tell them anymore. I mean, it's been to the point they know. I open the door for Pam all the time, but when they're in us with the car, they will open the door. They will run to her and make sure she doesn't have to carry anything but her purse.
That's right.
And I make sure.
Make sure she carries the purse.
Oh yeah. No, you ain't got to worry about that. But
I get anything but that.
I can see you had to carry the purse a few times. It's okay, brother. It's all right.
Can't stand it. Don't carry purses.
But and I have to teach them. This is the way that you should. Because they have a little sister. They have a little sister, and they're going to have to make sure that when their sister gets older, that they're making sure that the guy she with is respecting her and opening the doors for her. And
right.
It's just sad. Just recently in the news, there are women dying left and right.
Yeah. We have one of our viewers just said that some men think that they rule women, and that's the reason why they treat them like that, which is pretty pathetic too.
Yeah.
I mean, because women aren't property.
Right.
They're a gift from God.
Yeah.
And they should be treated as such. I cannot imagine treating a woman anything other than like a delicate flower. And I'm not trying to get brownie points, because I get them all the time. But I think that's really the way that a woman should be treated. But you said something a little earlier with which I totally agree with, and that's the media portrayal of females. And it's a two-sided coin to this, and now I'm going to really challenge a couple of people with this. But the first aspect of it is this. Now, granted, the media does have a negative perception of females. Mainly, women are treated like sex objects in the male. I mean, everything now from, and I trip off of this because even the Carl's Jr. commercials, I don't know if you guys look at Carl's Jr., they're like a burger joint or something like that, and they got like these models who clearly don't eat burgers, and they're biting into the burger all seductively, and you know, the little bit of ketchup come down the face, and you want to wipe the ketchup off. You know, are you selling me a Happy Meal, basically? You know, why we need all this sex on top of my burger? When I'm trying to get, you know what I'm saying, trying to order my burger. So the women are portrayed as sex objects. Unfortunately, women are sometimes portrayed as they're not intelligent, which I personally have a problem with because, you know, I don't have any sons. You know, I'm one of those dudes that never had a boy. So, you know, I have 4 daughters, all together, and, you know, my wife. So I'm just like the only dude in my world. It's me and my dog. Well, the dog's a male. So, but in my world, that's it. You know what I mean? So when people portray women as not intelligent, it actually offends me because my wife is highly intelligent.
Yes, she is.
My children, they're all highly intelligent people. And unfortunately, in the media, you find that women are they're given the dumb blonde syndrome, like they don't understand stuff. What? Huh?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they don't
The voice tone.
they don't get what's going on, and it's pretty sad and pretty pathetic. So, you know, that kind of translates into a lot of things, and I mean, we could talk about this forever, but you know, that's part of the reason why they don't get equal pay. That's part of the reason why they don't get equal treatment. That's part of the reason why you know, they don't get the same level of treatment in society that men do, because there's this assumption that they are not on the same level. So that's one side of the coin, and then the other side of that is the fact that there's a message that's sent by the women that supports the negative message that's already out there. What are you saying? I'm saying this, that when we got half of our young ladies and women, you know, portraying themselves as sex objects, you know, every little video you turn on is somebody with their tail facing the camera, and you know, they're twerking, or they got, you know, boobs hanging out all over the place and all this other stuff. It actually supports the negative portrayal of that gender that exists in society. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, that's how I see it. It's two-sided. So you've got the negative aspect of it that's being pushed, and then you got the people who actually say, well, it's okay. Like, it's okay to call me a B. When is it ever okay for, you know, to call one woman the B word?
And that kind of
in what context?
And that kind of makes the guy feel like, well, you don't respect yourself, so I'm not going to respect you in that sense. So yeah, it's definitely a big problem.
Yeah, and that's what it boils down to. I mean, you know, why should I respect you and you don't respect yourself? You know, it's so crazy that we're even talking about this. The rapper Juicy J did a contest called a twerk contest. And you send in a video, and then I think for college scholarship, full ride.
So shake your butt and I'll give you money.
Right, but check this out.
Check this out.
For college.
Right.
For college.
So for college. So all these women sent in their video, but one woman. And all she did was talk about why she should get the scholarship. She didn't twerk or anything. She won.
She should have.
She won.
She should have.
And Juicy J explained, and the young lady said, "Oh yeah, they were mad."
So they was mad.
Yeah, they were mad.
That mentality
She
is
said,
off.
"If y'all read the instructions, it did not say you had to twerk. Just explain why you felt like you deserved the scholarship." She was the only one out of thousands of women that didn't send a twerking video, and she won.
And he said, and she won because I had mad respect for her.
And she should have won.
I know.
So now we've got two moms in the studio today. So two moms. Because Kai, you don't have any children.
No.
You will.
Yeah.
That's
Not
right.
yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
When they do, we're gonna have them on the show. You're gonna be right there with one of them things in the front with the baby on it. No. But two moms in the studio today, and we touched on a point that I find to be very true. So the point was that a lot of the females actually support the negative stereotypes that are out there. How, as a mom, and you have boys, but I know you have daughters. As a mom, what is the message that you send to young women who have made the decision to support the negative stereotype? Either one of you, it doesn't matter. Just jump in, talking to but what do you feel?
Thank you, Mrs. Barnes. For starters, I will say this, and I say often, when someone finds someone attractive,
Mm-hmm.
they don't walk down the street with their eyes closed and bump into them. Oh, you here? They watch how you treat yourself, and they watch the standards. The standards should be standards at the door. So if even 3 months down the line, and he begins to, I assume, like, to disrespect you, you presented yourself like that at the door. Mm-hmm. And then he just wore a mask because he wanted to get in good or gain something from you, and then disrespect you as well.
Right.
That's why it's important for us as women to not take our baggage and our complaining into the new relationship about the old relationship, because I was taught that at a young age. My husband knows nothing that I personally went through with my children's father. Mm-hmm. Nothing. No ups, no downs, no nothing. Okay, so while I'm sure together, we just grew apart. But I just don't. I'm like, we just grew apart. Mm-hmm. But I never said the ups and the downs, because what I personally witnessed from different friends of how the new one will, I guess sympathize with. Oh no, because that's not a real man that treated you like that. Mm-hmm. Oh no, that's a boy, that's a coward. I'm like, girl, give him 3 months. If it's in him to treat you like that, he will display himself in 3 months. Or women will display themselves in 3 months. So then it's the standard that we set as women.
So there's a standard, you feel?
Yes,
that should be put in place.
And for sons and daughters.
Yeah. As a mom, you have daughters. So talk to everyone about some of the things that you instilled in your daughter to make sure that was not the case.
Well, I just think as a mother that, I'm sorry, as a mother, you're your child's first role model.
Amen.
And that,
Amen.
I always told my daughter, I'm not your friend, I'm your mother, but I will love you. You can talk to me, but please don't disrespect yourself, because what the world sees on the first thing is the outside. Mm-hmm. And if you're walking around, and it goes back to the sermon that you preach, that if you're wearing a uniform that presents yourself as being disrespectful with everything hanging out, don't be mad if somebody treats you. Mm-hmm. Somebody treats you that way. That was a sermon that you preached on a youth
Indeed.
Sunday.
Indeed.
And I stick by that's right.
Mm-hmm.
So don't get mad if somebody is like, hey, blah 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 blah. If you present yourself that way, carry yourself with respect. Carry yourself with knowing that I am more than just this body. Mm-hmm. So I just believe in that.
That's right.
I hear that. That lesson was brought to you by Mama Bear. In case y'all that was she has spoken. Yes. Mama Bear and Pam. But I appreciate that about y'all, because I just think it's one of those things that we really need to invest time in. We were talking about having mentors last week, and the importance of ensuring that people have mentors in their lives. And it's the same thing when it comes to the females. If they have someone to look up to and aspire to, and I'll just be frank, if you're a young lady right now in this world, your role model should be somebody like your mom first and foremost. I mean, that's of course if she's doing her thing and doing it right. But like like Michelle Obama should be a role model. You know what I mean? People haven't seen her in the spotlight, but Condoleezza Rice should be somebody that you aspire to be like. It's sad that we live in a society where people like Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, they're glorified and idolized because of their brashness. But what they do is they set back the females by years and decades. Centuries even. Believe me when I tell you, those are characters that they're portraying. That whole, I'm this, I'm that, and I got this hanging out, that hanging out. Those are all characters. When they sitting at home and they watching Netflix and chilling with their man, that's not how they acting. You know,
Amen.
that's not the way that they portray themselves. And for all of our young females that look up to these characters, you know, you're really misled. Really truly misled, and I think that it's just time out for that. You know, real women, it's Mother's Day, it's time for real women to stand up.
That's
It's time for the
right.
type
Get
of
in your
women,
position.
get in your position,
Mm.
yes. It's time for
Jesus.
real women to stand up,
Amen.
because the generation behind us, oh my goodness, if we don't get on our jobs and if we don't be about our business, they are going to be so incredibly lost. When I watched this young man treating the girl like he was doing, I mean, he was kind of grabbing at her, she trying to walk away. Next thing I know, they going verbally. It was no hands thrown or anything like that. Cause I'm old school. I'd have went over there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like our boy Chuck.
Chuck.
You know,
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
out
Shout out
there. Shout out to Chuck. I will say something, but it just made me think about the difference between how it was when I was like that age. You know, it looked like a high school age, and you had to go and you had to knock on the door and you had to meet the father or meet the mother.
Yes.
You know, get permission to talk to him. All that, it just don't seem like it is anymore. And it was pretty sad. It was pretty sad. So we're going to take one more break, and then we'll be back. When we come back, both Kai and Massey are going to have their segments that we'll go over, and then we'll wrap up the show. But in case you're wondering, you're with Greg and Friends After Church Show, WXSL Radio, www.streetlegalradio.com. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. We're streaming live on Ustream and Periscope. All right, we'll see you in a couple minutes. We clear?
Yeah, my
We
phone. I was
good.
like this. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna.
Hey, Periscope. Finish out the show with a couple of segments from both. Well, actually, we're just gonna do one segment today. We'll do your segment today, Chris. So, what do you got for us this week?
Well, since my wife is here and my topics are usually catered to marriage, and since Chanel is here, I wanted to talk about the importance of protecting your marriage, privacy in your marriage. A lot of marriages, just in witness, have allowed foolishness because so many people have been involved. You know, calling somebody, say I'm going through, and so is getting on my nerves. And I think there's a way to handle that. So this is kind of also an encouragement for those that aren't married yet to really understand, like, you have to keep privacy. It is so important to go to God and really hash those things out. And honestly, I've learned that sort of the hard way. I wasn't always I would look for an opinion instead of going to God first on how to handle situations.
Right.
So I've learned the hard way of the importance of protecting it, because like, the pastor that married us told us, when you go tell somebody that your spouse offended you in some way,
Right.
they won't forget. Your spouse can
They
forgive
keep a
you.
record.
Oh yeah, and
They
they
keep a record.
keep, why are you going back to them? Because they was getting on your nerves. You was over here and he told the story when him and his wife had gotten into a situation. He went into his mother's house. Mother wouldn't even open the door. She said, "You go home. You married. You go home and you deal with that."
Yeah.
So it's
old
it's
school
oh yeah,
right there.
that's yeah.
2
So
points
it's
for mama.
yeah, so it's very, very important to pray first and pray together. Satan is constantly busy, especially when it's a marriage, especially when it's a Christian marriage. So what do you guys think in some ways that you can really focus on protecting your marriage?
Well, the way that my wife and I protect our marriage is sort of the same philosophy. We learn to keep others out and go to God first. Now, that doesn't mean that we won't value the opinions or guidance of a couple who we've esteemed as more experienced, may know more, kind of been through some things.
Right.
Or we may solicit the prayers of certain individuals because we know that they've
Amen.
proven themselves to be trustworthy.
Amen.
Right.
And confidentiality
We'll run their mouth.
is paramount, and they're
Right.
not going to go out there and say, well, ooh, guess what when it's when we don't have to worry about those things, but
Right.
keeping everything before the Lord has allowed for us to have I would literally say a very successful marriage. It's not perfect by any means. We still have disagreements. We still we have spirited conversations from time to time. We'll call it that. But at the end of the day, we found that by putting God first, that it allows for us to always come back to that safe place
Right.
that can't be broken.
Yeah.
That safe place that can't be broken, and we have a foundation, and that's what I've learned.
Right, and you said something there, that safe place. You gotta be able to have that safe place, and it's the same for us where we don't go out, we don't tell people our business, but we have certain couples like y'all,
Amen.
maybe one or two couples that we really deem that have that can help guide us through certain situations.
I only
and
got one.
troubles.
That's yours. I don't know.
She said this is new.
Right. Just even pray. I'm just talking about in the sense of just
to
pray.
pray for you.
Just pray. Yeah, I know. But it's so vital to have that. And I would just tell anybody, keep that close. Keep that close.
But it's tough sometimes. Just to interject, it's tough sometimes though when you, because and this is just a very realistic perspective here. You have like the overbearing mother or the overbearing father or the intrusive relatives or something like that, who they don't like to take no for an answer. They got to know what's going on in their marriage, So I know just for us that we found, or I've observed also, that when people allow for other people to be in the mix like that, it really erodes the relationship from the inside out. Because once somebody, and we know this to be true, if somebody says, and you said it earlier, if somebody says that if you tell something negative about your mate, say something to somebody else, guess what? That seed's planted. You know what I mean? And no matter what you say, what you do, nobody's going to be as forgiving of you as your mate.
That's right.
Nobody's gonna, the people on the outside, they're gonna look at it and say, man, please, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that. So you're very important with that. It's very important to protect your marriage.
Yeah, babe, do you have anything?
Any words of encouragement
on protecting your marriage?
I will say privacy is the best protection. It's like you protect your unborn child. That is the same protection that you have, because you don't know the ministry that you and your husband or you and your wife have together. So you have to think about it go deeper than the emotions. It go beyond y'all, because y'all are the platform of God. So just to protect your platform, your mind, your heart, to govern yourself. So please, I don't care if he don't even know that I'm doing this, but I still cover him, and I pray for the whole armor to be placed on him as well. His mind, his heart, his chest, his feet. So prophecy is the best protection, and yes, and when you forgive your mate, the people that you told will not forgive them.
Sometimes they don't.
And honestly, sometimes they don't. But I will say my mother, I had to ask her for prayer. And then I love that when she seen him, he had no idea that I even asked her for prayer. She still said, "Oh, okay, that's my son, Chris. Hey, son." But I almost like, this Negro. What's really going on? But I will say that I don't vent to my girlfriends. Because the thing is that some of them don't even comprehend their own vision or then their own purpose, so that you can't even comprehend someone else's purpose for their marriage and that they're doing for God. So yes, protection is the best. Prophecy is the best protection, even in dating. I mean, I'm not talking about that if he or she is abusing you. No, tell someone, get help, run. But I'm talking about people see the glow on y'all. Oh, it's something about her. Her husband is always with her. open house. So how can I get up in here? No, you have to be so
We ain't got no room
bond
for nobody
together.
else.
Oh yeah.
Yes, honey,
Ain't no
the
more room in this
bonds.
end.
Yes, honey.
Team bonds, baby.
Yeah, honey, the bonds gotta be so bonded together. Hallelujah. Yeah. So yeah, protection.
Awesome. Okay, well, very good point, man. Excellent as always. He said that he likes to spend and dedicate time to talking about marriages, and I think that that's important, that we have that piece as a part of our show, because a lot of the listeners are married or they're even thinking about getting married, and the things that we learn and the things that we begin to see from our own experiences are very important, and it's very important that we share those things. So awesome segment, dude. Awesome segment.
Thank you.
So it's Mother's Day, and I wanted to, just get a little early into it today, because I want to make sure that I do this the right way. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about today, don't get nervous, baby, it's okay.
I got nervous.
One of the things I wanted to talk about today was, because it's Mother's Day, there's a Bible verse that says that we're to honor our mother and our father, and it's the first, which is the first commandment with a promise. And I think that, on this day, there's a lot of mothers out there who have been loving, kind to their children. They've been incredible mothers to their children. They deserve the accolades. They deserve the flowers, the dinners. So many people sitting up in restaurants right now, or Golden Corral, or whatever it is that you want to be. But they're everywhere right now. And rightfully so, because the mother should be honored. Mothers should be honored. There's some beautiful moms out there. But I wanted to take a second to talk about the moms that didn't do such a great job. There were moms who didn't do a great job. There were moms that had children when they were teenagers themselves. There were moms who, had problems with drugs and alcohol. There were moms who had issues with abuse. There were abusive mothers out there. There were moms who just didn't know what to do because nobody ever taught them what to do. And it's on days like these that you have to really think about all mothers, because it's easy to praise the mom who was at the softball game, the mom who was there at the dance recital, the mom who rubbed your boo-boos and made sure that everything was okay. It's easy to put posts on Facebook and all the various social media outlets about these moms because they're great. But what about the other moms? And those are the moms that I want to talk about today. So in the few minutes that I have, I just want to remind everybody about the scripture that says to honor your mother and your father, because it's something that we should do. Whether your parent is perfect, whether your parent is imperfect, God still used that individual to bring you into this world. Whether your mother was there for you, whether she wasn't there for you.
That's right.
But there are children who are in foster care because their mother dropped them off on a doorstep. And they may have never known their mother. They may have never had the relationship. There are people who have been emotionally neglected by their mom, right in the same house, and never got a hug, never got an I love you, never got, a hot meal cooked or something like that, because either they were ripping and running the streets themselves or they just didn't know what to do. And the compassionate part of me is what drives my zeal when it comes to this, because I too was a young father. I didn't know how to do everything properly when fatherhood became a reality to me. And because I understand that, I also know that there are lots of females that were in that same position. When they laid down and when they had their children, they may have been young and they just didn't understand all that motherhood entailed. So because of that, there are children walking around with scars. There are children walking around with issues, mommy issues, pains and hurts, because they didn't get what they needed. They didn't get the nurturing. They didn't get the understanding. They didn't get what they needed in society. And yesterday we were in a workshop, a men's workshop, and the person who led the workshop was talking about the hole that he had in his soul because he did not have a relationship with his father. So I know that the same thing is happening today, where people have a hole in their soul because they didn't get what they needed. But my prayer is that you're able to forgive, and that you're able to move past the pain, move past the hurt, because above all else, we should honor our mothers. There are people whose mothers aren't here, people whose mothers who have passed on. Some people never got to say goodbye, some people got to say goodbye, but today, on a day like today, with everybody who's out there that's enjoying the company of your mother, enjoying the dinner, enjoying the time, enjoying the space that's been allowed to you, pray for those people who don't have that. Pray for those people who never experienced that. And hug your mother even tighter, because you're thankful that God gave you a mother who gave you the type of things that you actually needed. Because there's plenty of people in this world who are hurting. Plenty of people who did not get what you had. And for that, we ought to be grateful. So, want to close today's show out by honoring the queen of my house and the woman in my life. And I really, truly appreciate you. I appreciate all that you do. She is a phenomenal mom. She's patient. She's more patient than I could ever be. Trust me on that one. She gives. She gives beyond sometimes what I even can imagine that she does, that she's able to do. And she's always there. I've seen her for the last several years, because this isn't, both of us have been married before, so we have 4 children combined, but I've seen her give, I've seen her love, I've seen her do the things that a mom is supposed to do, and I'm sure that our daughter's taking a listen right now on the radio, but, hey Talia, but I know that she appreciates it, but I want the world to know how much I actually appreciate what this woman does. So she is awesome and loving, and she should be honored on a day like today, because a day like today is about people just like you who do the job 365, 24/7, and I want you to feel the honor that you deserve, because you deserve to be honored. So happy Mother's Day, baby.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day.
Sure.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to
Happy
all the
Mother's
moms.
Day.
Happy Mother's Day, Pam.
Thank you.
Yes. Happy Mother's Day to the other Pam.
Yes.
That's right.
And Lansing.
Happy birthday to Jackie.
Happy Mother's Day.
And birthday.
No, it's not her birthday.
Oh, today's a Mother's Day, though.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, so happy birthday to her. I'm sorry, happy Mother's Day to her. And did we miss anybody? Let's put them
I'm
out
sure
there.
they might.
Sade, your mom. But
Yeah.
Tiana, go ahead.
You break, I mean.
So Tiana, she's actually the host of Let's Talk Baltimore. They'll be on at 5 o'clock. But we actually, her daughter actually is the engineer for our show. So we appreciate you lending her out to us for this couple of hours. And she just wished you happy Mother's Day. So to all the mothers, every mother that's on the job and every mother that didn't quite do the job you were supposed to do, honor your mother and father.
Amen.
Because it is the word of God that says we do that. Because when you honor them, guess what? You get blessed. When you honor them despite their mistakes, despite their errors, despite the things that they did wrong, despite their shortcomings, because mothers are people too, and they make mistakes. And the only person that doesn't learn from a mistake is a fool.
Yep.
But we are supposed to honor them. So we closed out our show today by honoring mothers. I want to honor my mother, Gwendolyn Barnes, if she's listening. And I want to honor also my aunt, who's like a mom. Hey, Aunt Barney, hope you're listening. But it's so vital that we do that, and I'm glad that we did. So I appreciate all of you today.
Amen.
It was an awesome time. If you want to hit us up and show support, we've been on the air for a few weeks now. But if you want to, donate to the cause to help keep us on the radio, feel free to send your donations to P.O. Box 1544, Ellicott City, Maryland 21041. Make that out to the attention of the After Church Show. And that's Kingdom Soldier Enterprises. Again, the After Church Show, Kingdom Soldier Enterprises, P.O. Box 1544, Ellicott City, Maryland 21041. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, feel free to call. We can be reached at 443-810-6593. Leave a message and we'll certainly get back to you. But we love you guys. We thank you for tuning in with us. We thank you for listening. We'll be loading the show up later on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. But whatever you do, keep God first in all things and be blessed on your journey. See you next week.
All right.
I'm still alive. Oh, hand it around now. Now you know how we close. I'll say that to the people. I don't think
Hey. Shirt is bright on that camera.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's my wife. That's my boo thing right there. See that? Yeah. Well, all right.
Just who cares?
Love is in the air.
In a vicious tongue.
Hey, look, it was a another great show. We certainly and truly appreciate y'all. See the shirt? These gonna be available soon. You'll be able to order one for yourself.
Wristband.
Oh yeah, and we got wristbands now. Check this out.
Oh.
Booyah! Yeah. Yeah. So, but anyway, look, it was another awesome show. We really, really appreciate all the support, all the love, everything that goes into us being a success is because everybody helps make us a success. So we thank our fans, we thank our listeners. The squad is 100% on fire, and we thank you for everything that you do. These are my guys. This is what it's all about.
Hashtag B section.
B section.
We appreciate the B
section.
section.
This is what it's all about right here. This is what it's all about. All right, we see you guys next week. God bless.